This story is nuts. Some far leftists tried to dox a cop. 5 people were charged with felony harassment. They posted a picture of a cop. They said, "What's his name?" or something like this. Next thing they knew, they're facing felony charges. Now this, not too much. Look, I think doxing's a problem. But if you're in public and your face is visible and someone's got your picture, well, there you go. They can say what they want to say. Now, is it a violation of Twitter's rules? Yes. Does it cross a moral and ethical line? Yes. And perhaps we could enact some kind of laws about incitement, maybe. But we're getting dangerously close to the line here. I got to say, man, on first glance, this story is actually rather frightening and authoritarian. And as much as I don't like these far leftists going around trying to dox everybody doxes everybody. And there's certain lines, there's limits. If I go to a protest and I film everybody and someone takes and says, "Who are these people?" Well, what are you supposed to do about it? You're out in public. Check out this. This is nuts. A New Jersey police department is pursuing cyber harassment charges against 5 people in connection with a protest photo uploaded to Twitter in June. Complaints were served against the original tweeter and 4 other people who retweeted the message, alleging that they caused the officer to fear for the safety of his family. It's an unprecedented use of anti-harassment laws coming amid a nationwide law enforcement backlash against police brutality. Anti-police brutality activism. Calm down, guys. If successful, the charges would add significant new risks to political activity on social media, a key element in the ongoing protest movements. I'm sorry, man. I don't like doxing. Right? I think people should be able to, go about their business. But this is getting, let's just read. The Nutley Police Department filed its complaints in late July over a tweet posted during a June 26th protest. The now deleted message included a photo of a masked off-duty police officer with a request that if anybody knows who this B is, throw his info under the tweet. Because of the mask, the officer is not readily identifiable from the photograph, and there do not appear to be any replies revealing his identity. Now, this is different. He's wearing a mask. When you go out in public wearing a mask, you do have a reasonable expectation of privacy. So we're dancing on the line. I'll tell you what, though, they ran a GoFundMe for this. They got the ACLU on their side. You get no good faith from me. Not good faith. I'm sorry. You get no goodwill. I'm not going to assume you're acting in good faith. That's what I mean to say. The original poster and the retweeters are charged with cyber harassment, a 4th-degree felony, punishable by up to 18 months in jail. Activist Georgiana Shishak, one of the retweeters, revealed the complaint in a GoFundMe campaign last week. The ACLU of New Jersey confirmed its existence to The Verge, as did Shishak's attorney, Alan Payrutin. The Verge has also reviewed a copy of Shishak's summons. "I've never seen anything like it," says Payrutin of the case. "I don't see how that rises to a level of a crime." Shishak originally requested $3,000 to hire an attorney. So far, she's raised around $8,200. Her summons orders her to appear in court later this month. I think these are going to get dismissed. I think they're going to go in. Judge is probably going to be like, "Get out of here." But let's read more. The department charged Shishak and others on behalf of Detective Peter Sandomenico, who the complaint identifies as the officer in the tweet. It alleges that the photo and accompanying caption threatened the officer acting in performance of his duties, causing Detective Sandomenico to fear that harm will come to himself, family, and property. At the time Shishak posted her fundraiser, the post had no replies and 5 retweets. It's unclear how the department discovered its existence. However, some departments use automated social media surveillance tools to track all the tweets sent from a particular location. Had such a tool been used to surveil the Nutley protests, it would likely have surfaced the Sandomenico tweet. I'm being very careful here because I don't want to jump the gun before I know the full details. Maybe there's some argument, but I'll tell you what, man, some random person, was it a public photo? You're out in public, you're wearing a mask. Someone said, "Who is this person?" That's harassment. Now, my understanding is if it was going to be harassment, they'd have to be warned, "Stop doing this." But the people who retweeted it are being charged too. The Nutley Police Department confirmed that it had filed complaints against 5 people for cyber harassment. Charges were filed by our department for an incident relating to one of our officers. However, this remains under investigation, which prevents me from providing any further details. I'm going to stop right there. I think I know where this is going. They're investigating. How much you want to bet that behind the scenes, these people were doing something else beyond just posting the photo? How much you want to bet they're trying to claim it's just the photo? Zizek wrote on GoFundMe that she has been blindsided by the summons. I did not reply, did not say anything against this cop, and had zero clue to who he was. The purpose of this tweet was to find out the officer's information to hold him accountable. While the original poster is not named in the summons, Zizek and her attorney corroborated his identity as Kevin Alfaro, who posted a separate GoFundMe in July. Alfaro did not respond to messages via Twitter or GoFundMe. Alfaro's GoFundMe describes a June 26 Nutley for Black Lives protest where young anti-racism demonstrators confronted by pro-Christopher Columbus counter-protesters. The groups were eventually separated by barricades and police, although News 12 New Jersey reported no arrests were made. The campaign description says Alfaro was upset by officers who were very friendly with counter-protesters and covered their badges, a practice that some officers across the country have adopted to dodge complaints from protesters. I don't believe that. I think they're exaggerating. In an attempt to identify a specific police officer who was befriending someone harassing me, I uploaded a photo. His tweet includes a picture of the thin blue line American flag printed on Santa Monica's mask, a symbol that's used to identify police solidarity, but is fraught. Okay, Verge, shut up. I'll tell you one thing. This is coming from The Verge. I don't trust The Verge. Not at all. I don't trust these activists, and I'm willing to bet that this investigation uncovered something, but we will see. They're getting summonses to court. Often we have seen police try to use arrests as deterrent. This could be bunk. We'll see. But this is crazy. All I can really say here is, if this really is an instance where someone posted a public photo, it's over the line. We will see. I'll also say, though, this is really important to track because this may be the first instance where, someone who's going for a light protest doxing is facing felony charges. They say the department's legal argument against the 5 Twitter users is murky. A 2014 New Jersey law bans online harassment when it threatens someone with physical harm or crimes against their property, or when it involves sending lewd, indecent, or obscene material. It's more typically applied in cases involving persistent harassment campaigns and cyberstalking. The First Amendment also protects the right to photograph on-duty police officers. There's particularly little precedent for punishing retweets. Even in lower stakes non-criminal cases, MSNBC host Joy Reid was sued in 2018 for retweeting someone else's allegedly defamatory post. But the plaintiff quickly dropped the retweet accusation, focusing only on statements Reid wrote. A recent suit claims retweets can count as copyright infringement, but it's not yet resolved. The complaint implies that requesting Santa Monica's info was an invitation to harass or dox the officer. It was. Harassment victims have sued trolls who encourage followers to abuse them. In which case, nope, it does sound like they might have some case here, but maybe a little over the top. If they're asking other people to start pulling up information, maybe there is a very thin case here. They say Alexander Shalom, ACLU New Jersey's director of Supreme Court advocacy, declared the charges specious. The law is designed to prevent venal harm, not hypersensitivity and hurt feelings. Is it now? I'd be willing to see how they would start, how they claim, I'm going to stop right here. You know what? Let's play a game. The game is Andy No publishes information on far left extremists, so they physically assault and attack him. You are reaping what you have sown here. I'm sorry, man. I don't like the idea of the government abusing its power and going after people, but we're in a really weird position where everything they do, they try to claim is okay. We're allowed to dox people. We're allowed to do it, but not you, not them. Oh no, they're coming after us because we're doing it. I don't like the idea of the government overstepping. Okay, this is serious. The cops should not have special privileges or special access. People should not be charged for doing things that are legal, but they may have a case here simply because of harassment. If you go online and you encourage other people to target somebody, they might actually have a case. That's legit. I'm not going to pretend to know the law. The Verge ends by saying, regardless of the outcome, the felony charges have serious consequences for the accused. In the days since receiving the complaint, Zizek has been forced to manage the expense of hiring an attorney and the frustration of navigating a legal system upended by the coronavirus pandemic. Even if the charges don't result in a sentence, the filing could intimidate protesters who want to legally record police or make others afraid to engage with them. I cannot explain the fear I have and the worry I have for me versus a police department. I feel afraid that I may have compromised my whole future based on something that I believed was exercising my First Amendment right. Ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking it. However, I gotta say, I lean definitely against government intrusion. I don't like the idea of Antifa doxing people, threatening people, smearing people. I don't like the idea of people in media lying to defend these far left extremists. But I do not like the police using the system to intimidate people they don't like. Everyone needs to be held equally under the law. But I'll tell you what, if they're going to start criminalizing, if I posted something saying, hey, everybody, find out who this person is for me, I think that's a step over the line. If you're doing general public decentralized research or something, public coordinated research, I think you got to be very, very careful here. I'm going to watch this one, but I got to say, I lean a bit away from the government, but let's be real. The likelihood that these people lie, unfortunately, is high. We'll see what comes of this, and simply because they've been charged is not enough for me. They're accused of a crime. We'll see if anything actually happens, and maybe nothing will happen from it. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in just a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.